Ciao, mi chiamo Kyra.
Ciao, mi chiamo Grace.
Grace and I this summer studied art history in Florence. We studied at Lorenzo de' Medici and had a great time.
Yes, we were there for 5 weeks. We only took one class, which really allowed us to explore Italy and really travel on the weekends and get to experience the Italian culture and just experience how they live their days, every day and what they do with their time.
Definitely some of my favorite trips were on weekends. We were able to go to Positano, Tuscany, Rome. We went to the French Riviera, and that was so much fun. But also, being in Florence was also amazing, just seeing all the culture and history there. And definitely my favorite museum in Florence, I would say, was the Uffizi.
Yeah, what was really cool about Italy, we all thought, was that we were able to stay within Italy, but experience so many different terrain. So we went to Venice, which is all the water. We went to Positano, which is on the coast. We went up to the countryside in Tuscany, and then, of course, we lived in Florence, which was the more urban city feel. So it was just really interesting to see, the different parts of Italy and how they compare to one another. But I would say, as a whole, the Italian culture, the people, they're so welcoming, and I felt like we all felt like they wanted us as, visitors to really love their culture and love Italy and kind of become a part of it while we were there, which was really cool.
Yeah, and I would say the same goes for our professor, Daniele, was also so cool. Our class setup was 2 hours each morning, and we would do lecture for about 15 minutes, and then the rest of the time period was so cool because we were able to go outside and actually explore and see firsthand what we were learning in class. And on the way he would stop in a little cafe and get us cappuccinos and stuff. So he was really interested in us having a really great time, and I think that was something that made our experience so special.
And on another note, I would say comparing the Italian food to the American food, it was just above and beyond. And I would also say the dining experience as a whole compared to the American culture, I feel like here it's more you want to eat in and out as quickly as you can. Mm-hmm. And when we would go out to eat, we would sometimes be there 2 to 3 hours just because it was more so of an experience to, eat your different courses and drink the wine. And it was just really cool to see how it was such a family culture, even when you were at some random restaurant where you didn't even know the people working there.
Yeah, something cool to add to that also is a Duke professor actually reached out to us when we were in Florence, and I think he's a public policy professor, and he just set up this huge catered lunch for us, and he literally just called us up one day and said, "Are you guys going to be available? I don't even know you guys, but I work for Duke, and I would love to have you guys and do this for you guys." So we went, and he was so nice and just wanted to hear about all the experiences we've had, and the food was amazing. It even that we went up for first, seconds, and thirds, and it looked like it still was untouched. So that was really cool to have a Duke professor come with us and want us to have the best possible experience in Italy.
Yeah, well, he was even saying when he was planning this, because he's on global ed here, so he wanted to evaluate our program. And the people that work for our program, he was I'm just going to meet some Duke students here and over a lunch. Would you be able to provide some lunch for us? And the program directors in Florence, literally, it was a feast.
It was amazing.
Homemade pasta, homemade meats, cheeses. It was just
a chef had just prepared it.
Yeah, they're so kind and generous, and especially, with their food, it's just such a big part of their culture. It was literally a half-hour lunch, and it could have served, there was 4 of us, could have served 30 people. So they're just I just felt, when we went to the French Riviera, I felt a complete difference between the Italian culture and the French culture, just in terms of being tourists there. The Italians want you to love Italy and want you to have a good time there, whereas I felt not disliked in France, but definitely not the same feeling of being welcomed.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I would say my favorite meal in Florence, you have to just say pizza and gelato, obviously, but we had a lot of good fish dishes also, really good pasta, but I would definitely say that we got, what was our gelato called? Oh, stracciatella.
Yes.
That was our favorite, and we got that all the time. So my favorite one was in Rome because it had hardened chocolate on top of it. So that was definitely my favorite.
I would say my favorite meals. We didn't know this going there, but Florence is like known for their T-bone blueberry steaks. True. So I got a few of those, which were delicious, and also like truffle and gnocchi, which was also amazing. So we definitely missed the food. Missed the traveling, missed just the experiences of like you're surrounded by all this beautiful art every day in Florence, which is, really cool. We lived like 5 minutes from the Duomo, which was awesome. So overall, really cool experience.
Yeah, Grace just brought up the Duomo, and I think another thing that was so cool is like our apartment was right by it, and we were able to climb to the top of the Duomo and the bell tower right next to it. So that was just like one of the coolest views of all of Florence that we saw, and that was so awesome because we passed it every single day on our way to class. We lived right by it, and then we were able to like go to the top of it with our class. So I think that was really awesome.
And just like learning about the history of it, like learning about like how it started and like the art behind it and who made it. It's just like really cool that we live next to it and we walk by it every day, and meanwhile it's been there for like centuries. And it's just like so beautiful and so massive. Like when you're next to it in person, it's just really cool. Like learning about it in class and then like being with it in real life. It was just a really cool thing to like put together. So
yeah, we miss Italia. Can't wait to go back.
Yes.
Ciao.
Ciao.